guys? How are you all? How are you all? We are doing our final interview or final discussion in our Life Beyond Tech series, right? And over the last few weeks, we've heard from each and every one of you about your life in this industry, and we wanted to just take an opportunity to get everybody together so we could see everybody and share with our audience out there exactly what we do and share more about our passion, right? So I just have a few questions for you all, and I will call on each one of you to answer to answer a question and just get everything started, right? So before we get into the questions, I want to ask Scofield to introduce himself since he's our lead, and then we'll be followed by Nadia, Jason, Drew, Mark, and David. Right, so Scofield, kick it off and just let us know who you are, your desire, and what's happening.
All right, so which desire? Want the current desire or the past desire?
I wanted the current desire.
All right, great. So well, everybody should know me by now. Scofield Thomas, Managing Director of 800 Tech Limited. Well, my current desire, my passion really is integrating technology with business. That's my main area of interest. And it's something that, we've tried to steer the company into that direction to be focused in that realm, using technology in business.
Lovely, lovely. Thank you for that introduction. Nadia?
Hi, guys. Well, by now you definitely know me. I'm Nadia, Director of Operations in the business of 800 Tech. My current desire is twofold. It's one, definitely to help 800 Tech really practice what we preach. So the whole idea of technology and integrating technology into businesses, I want to make sure that we as well have that in a very aggressive way in our space, so that we are literally being pioneers in our business, as well as showing our customers how best we do it, so then they will want to do it as well because they're seeing the initiative on our side. And also, much like what Scofield was saying, is to really integrate integrate technology into business, but in a way that it simplifies technology, so people don't have that kind of apprehension that they typically have when they go through that experience of utilizing technology in their business space, whatever realm it may be.
Right, great. And now let's meet the rest of the team that we don't get to see enough of, and we want to see more of them. Introduce yourself, please, Jason.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jason Abraham. I am one of the product specialists at 800 Tech. My role within the company is to assist the team in, as Nadia said, integrating technology in our clients' environments and basically helping them to grow their businesses with the help of technology.
Oh, thank you so much for that, Jason. Drew?
Hi, good day, everyone. My name is Drew. I am the IT team lead for 800 Tech. My role within the organization is to oversee the team and all of our projects that we have ongoing to manage the team, to make sure that we meet all our deliverables and each and all of our goals with each project is met, and that our customers are happy as a result.
Oh, lovely. Mark?
Hi, everyone. My name is Mark Williams. I am the network/system administrator for 800 Tech. My role and function basically is to oversee client and system administration within our clients, as well as for our teams as well.
Oh, great. And David?
Good night. Good night, David Mack, product specialist. My roles and function are similar to Jason. I wouldn't go through them because it's the same.
And as you're here with us, David, tell us how long you've been with 800 Tech.
Approximately 10 years. Yeah, approximately 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years. Yeah. And what has that experience been like? Because tonight we want to talk about your passion versus your career. So what has your experience been like as being a team member at 800 Tech?
So it's been actually a great experience, learning experience. because in the company, I've seen the company started at one thing, transform to another, and then come full circle and then encompass everything.
Yes.
So I got a chance to not just be pigeonholed into one aspect of ICT. I've been got experience in every aspect, and as I say, it's a learning experience, a brilliant experience. And a person, I've always like learning new things, trying things. So it works for me.
Oh, good. And Jason, how long have you been with 800 Tech, and what has been your experience like?
Well, I have been with 800 Tech since 2009. So this would be my 12th year. So this year will make it 12 years in total. And it's been a really good experience for me. As David said, it's been a learning experience, probably above everything else, because of all the industries and stuff that 800 Tech deals with. We get access to a lot of technologies and a lot of different environments that your usual IT person doesn't get access to. So that has really made it very rewarding for me. And again, I've learned a lot in the time that I've been here.
Oh, lovely. Let's go back to Scofield for a moment as our team lead. So Scofield, I want to ask you, when you were younger, what did you want to become? I know some people wanted to become a fireman, a police officer, a teacher.
Yeah.
What did you want to become? What was your vision for yourself?
It may shock you. I wanted to become a pilot, actually.
Really?
That was my whole vision, for myself. I want to become a pilot. I actually started some courses, in that direction, because I was always fascinated with air travel. I guess it's all about the freedom and seeing new things and discovering new things.
Right.
So that was my career path at one point. I even started working in industry also,
Wow.
And then in school I didn't even do anything
IT related.
IT related at all. It was business. I did business as studies. I had no interest. I transferred out of the computer class because I had no interest in it. And to see it come full circle, it's really kind of funny, and I fell in love with it thereafter.
This is full circle. This is complete full circle.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. And Mark, same question for you. When you were younger, what did you want to become?
Well, for me, it's a little different. Because for me, one of my passions that I even do to this day, since I started that since I was like about 8 years old, and I think that for me was in the blood, because I think my grandfather, my dad even, and a few uncles of mine were engineers, and they mainly dealt in the electronic side. So I always had electronic mindset now. So that was one of my hobbies. I still do it to this day. So I started out with that, and then I moved a little bit further into architecture, right? So I started doing architecture and everything, but I still have this electronics mindset now. So when the opportunity arose that I could do ICT, I just went into it and merged the two, electronics and ICT. And it was a no-brainer from there. I just fell in love with ICT, and just everything else just went to the side. But I still have my electronics, mindset. I still
yeah, and that has served you well, obviously.
Yes,
has served you well in your position.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Nadia, let's go to Nadia. Nadia, when did you know that this was the field that you were going to be in?
I stumbled into IT, to be honest with you, because...
Oh, tell us about that.
Everybody
seems to like stumbled into this thing.
Yeah, very much so, because I actually started off in the sciences, and that's what I did in secondary school, and left and went to do industrial psychology. Started off doing business, touched psychology, hated psychology. And one of my professors said, hey, literally just, give it a go, do a 101 course. And when I did the 101 course, that's when I started to like IT and appreciate what it's all about. The programming side of it was more my forte, databases, that kind of thing. So it's really in my undergrad that I really started to like IT, and I coupled it with business. So for me, that's why this marries well, because I'm straddling, I
Yes, it
have an
makes sense.
understanding of IT, but I'm really more on the business side of things.
Oh, that makes complete sense. And Drew, what about you? When did you know that this was the field that you wanted to be in?
Well, it was a different journey for me to get here because I come from a family of accountants.
Ah,
But so even from small, I was, they was always pushing me towards,
you went totally
accounts.
left field.
Yeah,
Total left field.
I went totally left field. Yeah, but it was, I believe I was around 13 or 12 years old at the time, and I was just tinkering with the computer, and when you're young and you're that age, and when you have a problem that you were facing, and the first time you found a solution to the problem, because at that time we had dial up, and the dial-up wasn't
Oh.
working for us. So it's when I found out how to get around that and resolve this. So that's like it lit a spark, and it's like, so what else could I do? And it just snowballed from there.
Okay, great. So I'm going back to David, without giving away your age, right? Because I don't want anybody to give away the age. Tell me if if working in 800 Tech was your first job in this field. David, let me hear from you without giving away your age, because we don't want anybody to know how old you are, right?
No, this wasn't my first job in IT. This was my first job in IT. My first job in IT would have, wow, okay, without giving away my age.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been with a small IT school, actually, where I did my first computer course. I did so well at the final exam that the owner had taught computer literacy and basic computer repairs to some students. That was my first stint, was actually teaching. First IT job was teaching.
Was teaching, right? So
Yeah.
is this your second or third IT job or fourth IT job without giving out your age?
I thought we trying not to could be about fourth or fifth. Yeah.
Okay, we won't try to guess your age then. That's okay.
Right.
And Jason, same question to you. Is this your first, second, third, fourth, or fifth IT job?
I don't think we're going to go as far as fifth, but it's definitely not my first. I actually worked in a couple of different positions in IT before I started at 800 Tech. I worked in a retail position in IT. I had a position at a government ministry. I even worked at a ISP help desk. So I had quite a few different jobs in IT before I actually came across here. But this is definitely the most rewarding one, which is probably why I'm here so long.
And I'm not going to say that because you've been there for like 12 years, you said, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so that makes a big difference. Scofield, would you say that this, because you're our team leader, right, and you're leading the charge, would you consider this a passion or career?
It's actually a passion, and I think it's something I developed, as I traversed my career, through my career over the years. There were some companies that I worked for that were pretty pivotal in terms of, how I manage now and the culture that we created. I saw what that type of culture did in an organization, and it's something that really stuck with me. And whenever I had the opportunity to, I replicated something similar to that in this environment, because we don't really have high attrition rates. Our employees typically stay with us, upwards to nine years, and this has been like that ever since, because we're in business now for 17, going to 18 years, and we've always had that. And I could say a lot of the lead guys that we had before, those that probably migrated and stuff like that, we're still in contact. We still have, conversations. There's no animosity, because everybody have a different part to take, and we all about helping people grow. And chatting with the guys, you'll realize that, we don't stifle you. We allow you to be, and remember back in the days of USA, upon like character's welcome.
Yes.
You know, so whatever you want to be, there's
You're really showing your age there.
Yeah, he really showing his age. He really showing his age. But that's okay.
So we allow you to be and allow you to grow, organically within the company. And, if they have their own side hustle, I mean, that's fine. Be okay with that.
Yeah, that's part of it. And Mark, for you, is this passion or career?
I would say I was after being introduced to ICT and then merging it two, I became very passionate about ICT. I am passionate to the point whereby that if there's anything home-wise, work-wise, that bothering me with regards to some little nitty-gritty, something that I need to figure out, I will be at it until I actually get it done. I think one of the other things that I like about 800 Tech that is unique than most environments is that it's not just one ICT person, it's a team. So everybody knows the strengths and weaknesses. Let's say, for instance, I need something with regards to like an accounting piece of software. I could rely on Jason. Trying to figure out something. Drew has Scofield, David. So I mean, it's not just like me alone. It's like a whole team, right? And once you have a team of people working with you like that, you can always be passionate about exactly what you're doing. So for me, I'm just passionate about ICT.
That is really good. And Nadia, passion or career?
Definitely passion. For me, I got lucky because we do a lot of projects, and projects is something that I like to do. So I got to incorporate the business and IT, which I did actually study in undergrad, and then now because I only handle projects, whereas the guys would be supporting customers long term. That's not me. I get in here, I do
you just project
beginning and an end, and I like that because I like to get that momentum of just getting something done, seeing it come to fruition, and then moving on to something else. So for me, I've gotten the best of both worlds by literally finding a job that I can mix and marry all of my things in one.
Oh, that's great. So Drew, let's mix it up a little bit. Drew, tell me, if money was not an issue, would you still be passionate about this field, and why?
Well, like I told you earlier, when I had my first foray into IT, I was really young, and that left an impression for me. So money it wasn't an issue with money. It's about encountering something new. And this is what I like to explain to some people. When you're in this field, it's like when you're learning something new for the first time, it's like you're basically learning it from scratch. So like you're developing something from nothing. Even when you're developing an application, you're developing something from so you're creating something. And I think that a lot of people who do that, they don't do it for money. They do it because they like to do it. Yeah.
True. So you will still do this if money was not an issue. Yes. What about you, Jason?
Well, if money wasn't an issue, I definitely wouldn't be working an 8-to-4 job. But I would still be very much interested in technology, especially the way the world is going. That every day new things are being developed in terms of technology, and because of the position that I'm in, I'm able to at least stay abreast to a certain point and keep ahead of where the world is going. And that's pretty important to me. It's pretty exciting to me because you have a lot of people out there who aren't as in tune to technology, and things are passing them. And when they do realize what is happening, now they have to go play catch up. Whereas I'm in the forefront of it and being exposed to a lot of these things daily. And I'm always thankful that this is actually the field that I got into, and this is where my interest peaked. So yeah, I'd definitely still be fully interested and still be in technology.
Still be fully interested.
Money wasn't there.
Good answer. David, my question to you is, what have you found is the biggest misconception about people who work in IT?
Come again, what's that? The biggest
What is
misconception?
the biggest misconception
That
about
people
people
who
who work in IT? Yes. I have my own, but tell me what do you think
um
people's biggest misconception are?
tend to believe that we are antisocial and reclusive.
We're from the Big Bang Theory.
That's
David
a
is
very
Kind
so
of
nice
like
Big
way
that.
of
Bang.
saying it, David.
That is so true. That is so true.
David is the complete opposite of that.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, that is a huge
And,
misconception. What else do you think?
and probably we lack personality and things like that. Yeah.
Mm.
And to me that's the biggest thing, and probably that we carry the internet in our back pocket.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
they think we're
Yeah.
Sheldon.
More or less.
Yeah.
Yes. More or less.
But we also think that you should have all the answers. So if you don't have the
Yeah,
answers, we don't understand why.
Correct.
yeah,
Correct.
yeah. Basically, when I say internet in our back pocket, basically, yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, that we have all
Yes,
the answers.
yeah. And Mark, what do you think? What do you think is the biggest misconception?
I think as you rightly said, you know, they feel that we have all the answers, you know, and in instances I've seen whereby people freaking out, and when you go on site and you reach, it's like this light and this light like at the end of the tunnel, you know, like a sigh of relief,
Yes,
right?
yes,
So I mean, that is one of the biggest misconceptions, and you will know everything, right? So even if they Google it and they're trying to figure out something, once you show up, you're supposed to know it, right? So that's one of my biggest misconceptions.
I have worked with a lot of people in IT, and one of the biggest qualms that I have had with IT personnel is the language of IT. So sometimes how an IT person may view something and want to explain it to the client does not make sense to the client because you all are maybe accustomed speaking in your IT language, right?
That is true. That is true.
It is, right? So it gets very frustrating having those conversations.
Because I've interacted with people who are not on an IT level or don't have an IT background, and you're trying to explain something to them and you have to break it down. You have to meet them at a certain level or meet them at their level, and then as you interact with them on a one-on-one, then you gauge where they are, and then you give them the information bite size, and then you take it from there. Because if you try to get into your lingo, if you ever heard like a group of IT people talking and you on the outside,
totally confusing.
Yeah.
Totally confusing. Yeah. That's my biggest problem with IT people. Language over my head.
It depends on the person you're speaking to as well. I mean, I don't think any of us have that issue because we're all like people person. I mean, like David said, if you're like an introvert IT person, well, this is getting into kind of psychology, but they may kind of like project like that to cover up some of their shortcomings. But a person that's like more open and stuff and familiar speaking to people and such, they wouldn't have a problem. They wouldn't have once they know they know the person you're speaking to, they wouldn't have no problem laying out in a way that you'll understand. I mean, you could make that with like any career like an accountant when if they try to explain something to you.
True.
Yeah.
That's true. That's very true. So I want to go a little more to the left, and I want every one of you all to answer this question for me. And I'm going to start with Nadia. Nadia, if there's one thing you wanted to tell your customers, what would that be? This is tied into, we're also doing our Dear Customer series right now, right? So I want each one of you to tell me what is one thing that you would tell your customers.
One thing I would tell the customers, they're customers.
Yeah, they're customers.
Dear customers, you need to guide me. And this is, I guess, in the space of digital transformation specifically, I would go. You need to take me step by step through your processes. And the reason I'm saying this is because a lot of times the customers, there's an assumption that we already know. And there's certain things that you actually have to bring to the table. And then we can now convert it into something that is useful and meaningful to you. you don't
Yes.
come with a blank slate, and then we now have to, there's a lot of dissecting sometimes that needs to take place, more than usual. So I really think for me, it's really for help for the customers to understand that they need to share, they need to bring a lot more in terms of us understanding their processes to the table, so that we can now take it and convert it into something meaningful and useful to them.
That's a very good point. Jason, what is one thing you would like to tell customers?
Why are we asking these hard questions tonight? If I had to tell customers one thing, it's definitely try not to be intimidated by technology. The answers are out. The answers are all out there. If you can't find it, I'll help you find it. That's what I'm here for. We'll do it together.
Oh, lovely. I like that approach. I really, really like that approach. Scofield, what about you?
Well, I would tell them, embrace change, especially in the environment that we're operating in. I think we need to be able to embrace change, and technology affords a lot of flexibility in terms of what you can actually achieve with your business in a situation like what we're in now. So I would tell them, don't be afraid, embrace the change. It would help you in the long run. It's an investment.
Definitely. David, what would you tell your customers, their customer, according to David?
It's actually very similar to what Nadia said. I cannot build the building without bricks, mortar, and clay. Okay, so just provide the necessary information. Let me know what you want. Detailed, and all will be well. And also
Okay, great.
Yes.
Embrace change as well.
Yes.
Yes, good. Mark, what would you tell your customers, their customers?
All right, if I had to tell my customers anything, I would say, dear customers, your data is your lifeblood of your company. Do not wait until ICT is an option. Embrace the change now. Now. And another thing is, there's no place for pirated software on your servers. No
place. Say that louder. Say that louder.
Dear customer, pirated software is no place for a server.
I hear you. I feel you all need to change your slogan to embrace the change, right? Drew, what is your dear customer?
My dear customer is simple. Please have parking for IT.
Okay.
I don't want to drive around the building for half an hour to find a parking.
True.
Okay. We'll keep that in mind. Anybody else want to share another dear customer? Or we all good?
Yeah, I think we're all good.
Yeah, we all good. Okay, so my final question, and it's something that I also want every one of you to answer. We'll start with Scofield this time. What else are you passionate about besides IT? Because we know that everyone is passionate about their IT and this career, this journey they're on. But what else are you passionate about?
I'm passionate about something that I really can't do well, music.
Wow.
Yeah,
playing
I'm passionate
music,
about music,
singing music.
Yeah.
What?
Playing music, getting involved in that type. There's
like
something
a DJ?
about music. No, not a DJ.
Oh.
Not a DJ.
Like playing an instrument?
No, it's just, I actually always wanted to play a violin. So that's something I'm passionate about, I'm very passionate about that music. I've never really done anything about it, but that's something I'm passionate about, music.
So you are the pilot violinist IT specialist.
Something like that, yes.
Okay, we hear you. Mark, what are you passionate about? What else are you passionate about?
Well, I think when I was actually about 13 years old, both myself and one of my sisters, we actually got into martial arts, and that has stuck with me from that point until now. I think that's what contributed to me staying slim besides other things and staying fit, is that I'm always fascinated about different styles, different techniques. Even though the one that I started out with is Shotokan, that's a Japanese form of martial arts, right? And then I started looking at other different styles like Hapkido, Kung Fu, and Ninjutsu, right? I have a ton of books on it.
Mark is a ninja.
Sites,
Wow.
So that's something that I normally do. So that's
We have a
another
ninja on our
interest I do.
team. And what about you, Jason? What else are you passionate about?
Well, that's an easy one for me. Anyone who knows me knows how much I love football and Real Madrid. In fact, if I could, I would have worn my Real Madrid jersey tonight. But we're here for 800 Tech tonight instead. Again, anybody who knows me knows it's football for me all the way.
So is it watching football or playing football?
Both, but honestly, my time doesn't permit me to play football these days. So right now it's just watching.
So who's your team?
Real Madrid. There is no other team.
At Barcelona.
No. We are Man United fans here. Man United. All right, great. So David, tell me, what else are you passionate about?
Passionate about? Since I was really small, as far as I can remember, I've always been fascinated with things that involve using hands and mind. That kind of what led me to get into IT, more or less, anything. And something I always was passionate about, and due to COVID, I recently got involved in it, is farming, oddly enough.
Wow, I love it.
Planting and taking care of crops and watch it grow, and then eating it and sharing it with neighbors and things.
Yeah. It's a great feeling.
You ain't shared with
Not
us,
us. Not us.
I reach up on that side. Don't worry, I'll get there. But that is something that I always wanted to do, and that's something I always admire. I always admire people who know how to do that and know the intricacies in it and the science in it. And COVID for me got me to get involved in it.
So we have on our team, we have a farmer, we have a ninja, we have a football enthusiast, we have a pilot, a violinist. Drew, tell us what you're passionate about.
Pets. My puppy. Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah.
How many puppies do you have?
One.
Oh, nice.
That's
so you like
dog.
animals?
That's a puppy.
Yeah.
That's a big dog.
What kind of dog is it?
He's a puppy. It's a husky.
What kind of dog is it?
It's a husky.
No, that's not a puppy. A husky is a big dog.
He's a puppy.
I don't understand.
He's my puppy. He'll always be my puppy.
Okay, Joe. We understand. And Nadia, finally, tell us what you're passionate about.
I'm actually passionate about writing poetry. So, yeah.
What?
Yeah. So
well, y'all are really blowing me out of this thing tonight. Really?
Yeah. That's
okay.
That's a hobby of mine, something that I really spend time and energy behind. Yeah.
Do you have anything published?
No, I don't. I was in the midst of working with an editor to go through that process of that, because I actually have quite a bit of material together. So I was working with an editor for the editor to help me just fine tune my work for me to actually get it published. But
y'all are such a talented bunch.
Yeah.
That is good. So guys, this was nice, and hope it was relaxing for you all and gave you all a chance to share another part of yourself. And I just have one question that anybody could answer. I mean, we've been going through it over the last year and 2 months. How has the pandemic or COVID really affected your work, like your output, your productivity? Like what has been the biggest change for you? And this for anybody.
Yeah, anybody.
Well, for starters, okay, and you can go ahead, Jason.
I was gonna say actually that it hasn't changed that much for most of us, I believe, because some of our clients are essential services. So pandemic or not, we have been out there, we've been grinding, we've been working and just doing what we have been doing all along and what we love doing. So it hasn't really been that much of a change for us.
Much change. Okay, and Drew, what do you think?
Well, I'm going on the opposite end to what Jason just said. I will say I don't think we have ever been as busy as we have been during the pandemic.
That's a good thing.
Because this is not to rib on anyone, but we had to get like all our customers ready to work from home within a short time frame, and we had to support them and such.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
and there will be like some individuals who it will be more difficult for them to move to that work from home in mentality and
Yes.
stuff. So
Yeah.
you have to be patient and stuff with those persons. And
Yeah.
yeah, I would say
It's been
it
a little
was,
different.
yeah, not different, it's just been a lot more busier.
Yeah. And Scofield, what do you think?
Well, so from where I sit, internally, it's a lot easier for us to help customers because at the core, we have always been a virtual company. And so when they had this stay-at-home order, it wasn't as if we had to now, galvanize the troops, to go in a particular direction. We've always been operating virtually, even though we had a physical space. Our
Right.
infrastructure has always been cloud first. And so it's very easy for us now in a pandemic to help other clients because we are custom operate. This is like our normal modus operandi,
Right.
We always operate like this generally, even when things were normal, we're virtual,
Yes.
So
Yes.
it was easy for us to assist other clients. As Drew said, yes, we had an uptick in work because now we have to help those customers, to get ready and get prepared. And then the culture shift, with the employees I think was the biggest shocker for them, managing themselves working remotely, ensuring that they're still accountable for doing stuff and then safeguarding the customer's data at the same time. So I think that was the challenge in terms of the administration part of it.
Okay, that's great. And yeah, and I can understand that. So guys, thank you so much for granting me this opportunity to ask you questions so that I get to know your life beyond tech.
Yes.
I don't know if anyone wants to close us off and say anything or add anything to the discussion that I did not get to ask and they really, really want our customers to know. Anybody?
Please
Going
like, share,
once.
and subscribe.
Embrace the change.
Yes, like, share, and subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe. Right, we'll
That's the
make
key
sure
in life.
that's loud and clear.
I want to let customers know that digital transformation is easier than they think it is,
Yes.
and we can show them how easy transforming your business can be. Because I'm mindful of what's going on today, and it's not as difficult as they think it is. And the good thing is we are here to guide them. It's a simple process, and we can take them through that process.
Definitely. So guys, thanks so much for being here. Thank you for giving us a little over half an hour of your time. And we will see so much more of you in the rest of the year, in the next 9 months, right? We hope to see much more of your faces and not just Scofield and Nadia. Right? So thanks very much.
Thanks so much, Adana.
Thanks, Adana.
Okay.